Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun. How's it going?
Our little bottles of potion.
I know. And I'm just kind of like rubbing on our rock.
Yes.
Because
that worked.
It did work. How was Florida?
Yes. It was good. It was very good. I handed out a lot of business cards.
I know.
Yeah. And I put up a lot of stickers on random places.
Sundays are very slow for us when it comes to downloads. We only have a few, people that download our podcast or the episodes on Sundays.
Because most people do it either Friday or Monday.
So I usually don't check. Yeah, it's usually Friday, Monday. Well, now that we're getting a little more popular, because we're basically famous, quote unquote.
We're basically famous.
It's just kind of like every day now has it. But Sundays are definitely the quietest. And so I logged in on Sunday. I don't know what made me log in on Sunday. I wasn't even going to work.
Feeling.
I was going to hang out with Julia all day. And then I was like, wait, what? There was all these downloads in the morning. I'm like, oh, Cass is in Florida. What were you doing down there?
So, when I go to Florida, as anybody who's watching can see, I am not tan at all because I sleep all day and I'm in a bar all night.
Yeah, that sounds like vacation.
Yeah. So I, every time I tipped the bartender, I'd give him a card.
Yeah.
Anybody who randomly talked to us, I'd be like, oh, we have a podcast here. Check it out. I give them a card. So.
Well, it worked.
Yeah, I handed out. I took a stack from you, and I think I have 3 left.
Oh, wow.
And I left a little stack with Jay, too. So he's got some to hand out, too.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So, it was fun.
Your PR.
I always have a good time when I go down there.
Yeah. Oh, it looked like such a great time. And I'm glad that you always put your Snapchats in the Florida gang. Bestie and I can enjoy seeing all your snaps.
Yeah, yeah.
I
want you guys to experience it with me, even if you can't be there.
Exactly.
I don't want to make you guys jealous.
No, and it doesn't make us jealous because I tried. So I was going to do
you guys
long
both
weekend.
Did. Yeah.
Julie and I were going to surprise you.
Yeah.
I was looking. I could not make it work with my schedule.
Yeah. And
no matter how I looked.
You would have been fucked anyways because all those flights got canceled.
Yeah.
So I just missed that because I went down on Thursday and then shit hit the fan and then I didn't leave till Monday, so it had cleared up.
Because of the storm.
It wasn't.
What was it?
It was the pilots on strike.
Oh,
for
okay.
being
You can tell I have
overworked.
not had the news on.
Yeah.
Okay. So how's that going to affect my trip next week?
You should be fine now.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it was a few days.
Because I heard it was certain airlines and now I'm hearing it's more airlines.
Okay.
So I heard Delta pilots went on strike, I think yesterday or today. So hopefully you're not flying Delta.
Nope.
Good.
Oh. It's too bad that everyone has to go on strike to get what they
deserve. And I was talking to a woman today. She's a union grocery store worker. And some of the stores in another state went on strike a little while ago. And she said, they're getting newsletters and this and that because their contract is coming to an end in June.
Oh.
The union's already on top of it. They're already asking for this and that. She goes, but I figured it out. Even if they right now, she said she's making $13 an hour.
Okay.
Which after paying taxes, union dues, she's basically making 10. She goes, even if they bump it up to 15, I'm making $12 an hour, you know?
Wow.
And I'm like, what is even $15 an hour now?
Yeah.
It's really not. I was saying out here by us, we're not in the city. City cost of living is way more.
Yeah.
Even out here, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,200 a month. And our minimum wage is $10.75. What the fuck is that?
I know.
You got to live in a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 other people.
And unfortunately, it's just going to get worse.
I know.
So hopefully we can come to some.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Everybody should be asking for a raise right now.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok that said if everybody gets their yearly raise between 3 and 5%, and everyone's like, wow, 5%, that's a lot. If you don't get a 21% raise this year, you're losing money. You're making less than you did last year without your raise because of the cost of everything.
Yeah.
I know gas will go down, but food and everything, that's not going to go down.
So there's 4 adults that live in the house. I might have said this already, but when I would shop once a week.
Yeah.
So what I was doing was every morning I'd go and just kind of grab a few things for the day. Well, I started realizing that was adding up because if you go and just buy a little bit, you don't worry about what's on sale.
Right.
If you're going for a full cart, I feel like I'm a little, well, I don't know if people would agree with me, but I feel like I've watched the sales more knowing I'm going to spend more money on that day. But if I just go to get like lunch and dinner every day, I would stop in before work. I didn't worry about the sales because I knew I was only going to spend
but it was like $50, $50 a day.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I need to only go once a week.
Yeah.
You know, on a night that I feel like it. Sometimes it's Monday night, sometimes it's Sunday nights just to get ready for the week, you know, but I wanted it to be a quiet night. I don't want to be around a lot of people.
Right.
And I'll just take my time and go through. So I was just telling Steve that it, you know, I would say like in 2020, it was probably $275 or $300 to shop for the whole week for us, family of four. Last year was probably closer to like $300. I spent $500 last week on the same stuff.
Right.
Same stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the cart and I'm looking at the, you know, her ringing it and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this will be about like 400 is what I'm expecting. It was like 480 something. I was like, wow, we have really increased. Half were on sale, half was not. And the half that was not, we needed.
Yeah.
I won't, you know, and I'm saying needed. It was like stuff that you need.
Paper,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, I need protein. My guys need protein.
Meat, meat's
and Julia, she eats veggies and fruit. We got to get that.
Yeah,
it's not like it's a.
That's what I was saying.
Skip on it.
The family pack of chicken legs, I used to get those for 69 cents a pound.
Yep,
they're $1.29, $1.49.
Yeah,
and I was actually me and Sam went to the grocery store in Florida, so I was kind of comparing prices.
Oh, sure,
their stuff is a little more.
Is it?
Their family packs of chicken legs, I think, were $1.64.
Oh, interesting.
A pound. So yeah. I was like, all right, well, I won't bitch on, but their gas is cheaper, motherfuckers.
Okay. What was it down there?
Well, it was still like she said it had just come down, and it was like $3.89 a gallon.
Okay, so we're still over $4 here.
Yeah.
So, and we're north of the city.
City is sometimes $5 a gallon.
I haven't seen $6.
$5.15 a gallon.
Yeah, I haven't seen $6, but
I think I saw a place today. Diesel was like $5.65 or something like that. So yeah, but gas fluctuates always. Like I always feel like I know eventually gas will come back down.
Sure.
But like food, I feel like once it gets to that price, excuse me, when a box of mac and cheese, say, used to be $1.29 and now it's $1.65, it will never come off that $1.65. I don't care like what happens in the world. It'll just go up from there. It will never come down again. You know? So I don't know. Ramen noodles. Ramen noodles used to be
10 cents.
Yeah, 10 cents a pack. What are they now? 50? You know?
Yeah.
And
or if you go to the gas station, they're $1.29.
Well, because of the convenience. Not that you should be eating ramen only.
Right.
Please, people, don't eat ramen only.
If you love ramen, but you still need protein, throw some eggs in there.
Eggs.
Some scrambled
chicken.
eggs.
Yep, some good ramen like recipes.
Absolutely. Yep. If you have to do ramen, but throw some other stuff in there. You don't want all those carbs. So this past weekend.
I didn't eat a lot of carbs either. I drank a lot of carbs, but
you didn't eat. You did good?
I just didn't eat.
Oh.
Jason didn't feed me.
Oh my gosh. and yet, like on most of the weekends when you're not there, it's like the big roasts that they're doing and the grilling, and he's like, forget this bitch. I ain't feeding her.
He did make me tacos on Sunday night.
Oh, because you were leaving.
Yeah. And they were spicy.
He figured he better feed you before he sends you back to Johnny.
Yeah. We got real drunk and then came home and made tacos, and they were so good.
I bet.
Yeah.
All his food always looks good.
It is good.
So while you were away,
yes,
Julie and I went to a paint and sip
at
Aeon Gallery or Aeon Lounge in Richmond, Illinois.
That looked so fun.
A fun time.
Yeah.
Well, the owner there she's just so sweet.
I know.
She was making sure everybody had their sips. You know, like Julie and I were drinking some wine. There were some ladies that were getting... They were getting pretty sippied. Yeah. They did more sipping than painting.
Oh, my gosh.
But I did this.
I love it so much.
So I did a little cow painting.
Little cow. And it was so cute when you and Julia held yours up. You looked like the mama cow and she looked like the little baby cow. Like hers was smaller.
Yes. And it was all based on the same picture.
Right.
But she did her dimensions smaller, but with bigger eyes. So I was crying. I was laughing so hard because I was concentrating on mine. And then we were starting to fill it in, you know, the black and the white on the inside. And she was showing us how to do some shadows and stuff. And I looked over, I'm like, That looks like a calf, like a little baby cow.
They turned out so good.
Cute.
They turned out so good.
So
you're like so good artistically anyways. Like when we did Bob Ross
paintings
at my house.
yeah. That was fun.
It was fun. And it was mountains with like a stream in the middle and then trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And mine just looked like crooked, like rocks.
I think they all turned out really
Yours
good.
was really good. You're like, oh, I'm just going to throw this backdrop together real quick for our pictures. And it's amazing.
Oh, over the holidays when we were snow queens. All right. So I was in line at the Burger King on Thursday night or Friday night. I can't remember. Julie and I were going to have a lazy night. And we weren't going to cook. And she said, she was working. And she said, can you bring me a veggie burger? Impossible. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I pull up 2 meals. Both of us were going to have the same thing. And I'm sitting, I pull around to the Burger King and I'm sitting in the second window and he takes my card, he does it and he walks away and the window doesn't close. And I can hear him bitching and complaining.
No.
Everyone decided to show up at this time.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, I thought he was like kind of talking to me. So I'm like, I thought he was still talking as he walked away. Oh no, he was absolutely complaining to the people in the back. He goes, drop those fries. There's people waiting. I don't know why there's 5 cars that decide to show up at the same time.
God.
What is it, dinner time? And I look at my clock and it's 5:30.
Oh my God. It is absolutely dinner time for us old ass people.
And I feel like our Burger King is never that busy.
It's not.
And it's not,
that's why 5 cars really threw them off.
You're right.
They were like, holy shit, all hands on deck. There's 5 cars here.
And he was like, and he was swearing. I think he didn't realize that the windows didn't close.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there listening and he's like, there's only 2 of us here and one's on break and blah, blah, blah.
God.
And then all of a sudden he kind of looks over and I think he realized and he was like, what was your drink again?
We'll be right with you. As he comes up and like doesn't make eye contact and closes the window. Shit.
He was like, what was your drinks? I'm like, Sprites. And I'm just like staring at him like, of course. And I never I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to see a million customers show up when you were probably due for a break 5 hours earlier. You know what I mean? So, and that's because
shit was hitting the fan.
But if I wasn't someone that worked in retail or didn't understand that, I may have said something.
You would have been,
someone
if you were a Karen, you would have been calling corporate and getting a free meal and complaining and whatever, Yeah.
Or maybe a little one-liner when he brought the fries, or, we're dropping those fries down fresh, pull forward, they always say, and probably would have had something to say.
I probably would have been like, yeah, we are a bunch of assholes, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I would have laughed.
Sorry, we all showed up, but so I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so I also have something else that I want to bring up.
What's that?
You go on vacation and all this stuff happens around here.
I didn't think of anything. And then I didn't have a phone charger today. You told me yesterday what we were going to do. So I'm like, cool, when I'm on lunch, I'll do. I had no phone charger. I'm driving home with 8% on my battery.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck.
Once you get to a certain spot in the city though, you know where you're going, right?
I was going to go to a different store at the end of the day because I hit 3 stores today. And I was going to go to a different store, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to this one because I know it's real close to the tollway. I know where I'm going from there. I don't have to rely on my GPS.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely disgusting that I still have to use my GPS almost 2 years later.
No.
But when I'm deep in the city, it takes me a different way every time.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, wait, I know this intersection, So it's... I have friends that lived in the city their whole life, so they're probably like, how do you not know where that is? And I'm just like, because there's 8 billion streets, and I don't even know which one I'm on right now.
I remember posting years ago when I was still at where you're at, and I was in the city, and I said, how do you get to this store? And they said, oh, you just go down west on here, left on there. And I got right into my car and Googled it. They're like, you know where you're going? I'm like, I totally know where I'm going. I didn't know where I was going.
So I asked when I got to my first store and realized I didn't have my phone charger because I always listen to podcasts in the morning on the way to work.
Yeah.
And so that takes a different cord, And I get to my first store. I'm like, is there a Walgreens right here somewhere? And they're like, oh, yeah, there's one right here or one right here.
Yeah.
I get in my car. I Google it. And I was like, okay, there's one half a mile away. Forgetting that my next store literally has a Walgreens right next to it.
Yes.
But I ran, grabbed a phone charger, get back in my car, plug it in, didn't even pay for parking.
No, boy.
Because I was like, no, I'm only going in for 2 seconds. I know they're right by the door. They're always right by the door, you know? So I run in, and I did see another guy park and not pay for parking too. And he went into Walgreens. So I was like, I wasn't that bad, you know? So I plug it in, and it's like slow charge.
Oh.
And it says like, you know, check your connection, make sure it's plugged in all the way.
No
blah,
juice.
blah, blah.
No juice.
So I'm like, okay, I take it out, turn it around, plug it back in, and it didn't do that. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I went back to my store, finished what I was doing, went on with my day. Well, it was like a trickle charger. 20 minutes with my charger, if I was at 10%, I would be at 50, 60%, you know? This thing, I had it plugged in all the way home, an hour, and it was only at 50%.
Oh, gosh. But still, thank goodness you had it, because I did... years ago, when I first started that job, I had a phone that always died.
Yeah.
Always died. And so I always had to keep it plugged in. And there would be times that it would still shut off while I was still trying to get home. So this was, I was still learning the city. It would shut off even if it was plugged in because of that same reason. It would say 1% done.
Yeah.
And that, I don't even know how I put up with that phone. It would be 50%, one none. You know what I mean? It was like one of those. It just was never right from the beginning. It was actually never right from the beginning because I always take my phone on my run outside.
Yeah.
And if it was under 30 degrees, it would shut off.
Wouldn't work.
So that wouldn't be good for safety.
Yeah.
I'd have to hold it in my hands or put it in my sports bra to keep warm.
And what was the first thing I did on vacation? I drive to the airport parking lot. I take the elevator down. And I usually pee there because they got nice bathrooms there. Before I get on the bus to take me to the parking lot. Pull my pants down and drop my phone in the toilet.
Oh, my gosh. No.
Because I was like, so, you know, you get real anxious and you're like, okay, I got my keys. I have my ID. I have this. I have that. All right, I'm going to put my phone in my back pocket and my ID in this one. So as soon as I get to security, I have both, you know. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to pee before I get on the bus. And I just like, no. And luckily it landed with like charger side up.
Oh,
and I hadn't peed yet. So I just like, whipped it out of there and like put it on the counter, go pee, take it up, you know, take my cover off, wipe it all off. Everything just seemed to be okay. And then as soon as I got on the plane, it's like warning, moisture in.
No.
I'm like, great. I'm going to get to Florida and be like, I have no phone.
But it was okay.
It was fine.
Oh my God.
It dried out. I just left it in my sweatshirt and let it dry out. So.
Moist control, but no pee control. So you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Darn it.
Yeah.
Oh, so anyways, I'll go back. I was shopping. And I realized that there's two types of people in this world. There's one, and it could be the same person, right? Yeah. So this gentleman at the register was very upset about something that was ringing up wrong. And he got very loud, and it made people turn to look at what he was yelling at.
I hate people like that.
Now I'm going to say this is why there's two types of people. But he stared at the cashier the whole time. Like it was her fault.
Like he's trying to intimidate
Figure
her.
it out.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's, you know, and he's trying to pull like all the math on her. And I was getting lottery tickets and I could hear what he was saying. And it must have been like a buy one, get one, or buy two, get one. And he didn't have enough. And she was explaining it. It sounded like he was wrong.
Of course he was wrong. He's
you know what
a
I
man.
mean? Because he didn't buy three. And she said, well, I'm going to ring up this third one. Then it'll come up free, or it'll give the 333, you know, like that, because it was probably 3 for $10 or something like that. He goes, I should not have to buy three to get them to come up as three. And he's daggers at this cashier.
And she's probably 16.
Well, actually, this one was one that's been there for a very long time. So she handled herself good. She's like, listen, I'm going to scan a third one. You know, you need to go back and get the third. He goes, first of all, I'm not going back to get another one. God. Send one of your baggers, like, you know, with the hand flick. And he was an older gentleman. I mean, he was nicely dressed, but I was like, can you be a little nicer? Like, it wasn't like he was... nothing was wrong with him, disgusted. I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, nothing was wrong with him. Like I think he could have went and got it himself.
He's
and
just
you know what I'm
entitled.
saying? So that's one type. Then, I mean, not a minute later, I was still picking out my scratch offs from the machine. I'm addicted to winning.
Meredith's
I hope.
There's some good drama here tonight at the store. I think I'll just hang out by the lotto machine, see if I can get any more stories for the Clopin.
This one was a lady, also dressed nice, didn't look like anything was wrong with her. She didn't like the way something was getting rung up. And so not only is she staring at the cashier, but she's trying to pull people around her to agree with her. So there's two types. There's the one that will yell and scream about something not ringing up and staring at the cashier, blaming the cashier. This lady decided she was going to look to the customer behind her and roll her eyes and like, it's never correct here, like pulling people in. So I've seen both, and I'm like, there are two types. Can you think of any other types that would, in that situation?
Yes, there's the type that's like, doesn't look and doesn't give a fuck. That's me. You would think after 10 years of working at the customer service desk, and seeing how many times things got rang up wrong, that I would be more diligent. You know what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And then the other person is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't think that rang up correctly.
Yes. Okay.
Did I read the sign wrong?
Yeah.
Maybe it was an old sign. I don't know.
That's me.
Let me go run back and check.
And that would be me. Because
there's
I would still bring the sign up. Well, actually, I would probably take a picture of the sign because I wouldn't want to remove it.
Right.
Because I always hated that.
Right.
I take a picture and say, this is what was in the spot. And they will tell me, well, it was stocked wrong. And I say, no problem.
No problem.
I either don't want it, want it. And then I decide after that. If it was a couple.
Gonna take it anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and really that all depends on how much. 3 for $10, buy one, get one.
Right.
How much money am I actually saving for me to have to go back, take a picture of the, usually it's like,
it's
whatever,
40 cents.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I guess there's 3 types then.
So you have the dagger eyes who will never get anything because he's a dick.
Yeah.
And then you got the Karen who just wants to complain.
I call it
like,
so you got dagger eyes and you got groupie. Like wanting to bring everybody in.
And then you got doesn't give a fuck, so they would never know anyways.
Yeah.
And then you have apologetic.
Yeah.
And guess who I'm going to be like, I put $5 off on your order today.
Yeah.
Not the fucking dagger ass motherfucker.
Right. And I feel like that's karma.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be instant karma if something happened.
Yeah.
To that or whatever. I don't know. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, there's definitely some different people.
He's a mediocre white man.
And then I was like, okay, as a cashier, what would piss me off more? Daggers? Or the woman trying to bring in the customer behind her that everything's always wrong at this store.
Yeah, they would probably equally piss me off.
Okay, same.
But daggers pisses me off more just because, like I said, it's like a middle-aged man who thinks that he's so entitled. And I spend $400 here every week when you're the one who's spending $400 every week and you don't even fucking complain about anything. Yeah. That guy probably spends $30 a week because he eats Stouffer's frozen mac and cheese in his single life apartment because his wife divorced him and his kids don't talk to him.
Yes, that's exactly who he was. And you didn't even see him or saw the conversation.
I know. I've waited on these people for years.
I know.
You know?
Okay, so the fourth person, the kind one, would piss me off as well because they would probably stop my lane. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just go run back. And it's $500 worth of groceries that you have to put on.
Well, I'm just ringing them consistently, but not really fast, depending on where the product is.
And you hope it's not the last item on the belt because that's always what happens.
And generally, you know what? No, I wouldn't. I would say, don't worry about going to check. I'm just going to change the price.
Yes. We were allowed to do that. We had like up to $5, like you had mentioned before many episodes ago that it was like no problem.
If it's ringing up $3.49 and you tell me it's $3.15, no problem.
Yeah.
Probably got stocked in the wrong place. I'll call somebody later or I'll go over there later and check.
Now, and I know that's where we worked. I wonder how other places are.
It is exactly the fucking same.
Well, okay. So the place that I go to, it's not.
It is.
Because I'll say, I thought that was 2 for $7. And she's like, well, nope, it's ringing up for $3.51. I'm like, okay.
Well, 2 for $7 would be $3.50.
Oh, $3.50. I was testing your math.
Well, if you bought 2, the other one would bring up at $3.49. You got the more expensive one.
I was seeing how your math was today after Florida.
Apparently, I'm on top of it.
You are definitely on top of it.
I feel like any store, like, maybe they have to get a supervisor to come over and, like, okay it, but...
Depending on the... Yeah.
Like, dagger eyes, I'm not even going to bother. No, fuck no.
Yeah.
You got a problem, go up to the service desk. They can take care of you up there.
Which brought up another thing.
Did he go up to the service
So
desk?
actually, she said, I'm going to ring the third one up. You go ahead and grab. And it pissed him off that he was told to go grab what he needed to go grab to make sure that it all worked out, like after he paid. So I thought, what do we say to customers that would still piss them off? So I found an article.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I found an article that I thought was pretty interesting.
People are so dumb.
This one's called, and it's from userlike.com, 10 common phrases you should never say to customers.
It's everything
now,
we
can
say
I tell
on this
you,
show.
Number one, this is from 2015. It says that the author, Marta, is a digital customer service. I do not agree with some of these.
Well, okay.
And I usually don't read through it because I want it to be a surprise as we're reading through it.
Digital customer service is very different from face-to-face.
Yes.
So
that's why I wanted to mention that. So userlike.com, it says what you want. Okay, so it's like it counts down, right? Isn't that cute? So the first one is... It's like Simpsons or what is he?
That is Fry from
oh yeah, with the orange spiky hair.
Yeah, gosh dang it. What's the name of that show? The one where they're on the spaceship. The cartoon on the spaceship with Fry and the doctor guy and Leela, the one-eyed girl with the purple hair. What the hell?
Everyone's saying it right now as they're listening.
I know.
So it says, I'm not sure, but I believe that. And so she's saying, instead of going out of their way to provide the customer with a conclusive and factual answer, oftentimes service representatives try taking a shortcut with answers based on their common sense and vague memory.
So you should say, you are wrong, and I know because facts.
Okay, so I was reading this. I'm not sure, but I believe that. I'm fairly certain I say that almost every day if I'm in a store. Like if someone says, do you know where the bread is? I'm not sure, but let's go this way.
Yeah.
But she's saying that's not what you want to say. You want to say the bread's in aisle 6 when it's really in 20 and you run away from that customer?
What I say a lot is, let's look over here.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Oh, look, it says bread really big right on that fucking sign.
But I guess you never want to say I'm not sure because that's bringing you like,
yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
So right away that does kind of open. Yeah, it opens up to, well, don't you work here?
Yeah,
oh.
Just because I work here doesn't mean I know where every single fucking...
Don't you work in this department?
Every single one of our 1 million items are.
Can you tell me where that candle is? I could, but I work in pharmacy.
Shit. I can tell you where the fucking birth control is.
I've never said this, but the ninth, so we're going down, is that's not so bad when they're complaining. So probably don't want to say that.
I probably have said that. Like, well, shit, you think you got it bad? The last customer that was up here was complaining about blah, blah, blah.
So it's funny because from Forbes magazine, she quotes, 68% of customers will not do business with a company who doesn't show that they value them. Good.
Get the fuck out of here. Really? Because Amazon is still in business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And every single customer that said, I am never coming back here, I saw the next day or the next week or my next shift.
Every week on Wednesday at 2 p.m., they were there.
All right. Number 8 says, don't show impatience in front of the customer.
Ooh.
It says, listen to me. So it's
I'll sit there and click my pen while they're talking, while they're complaining. Like, just
I actually have seen you do that before.
Oh, God, yeah.
So the quote is, listen to me, like trying to stop them from almost like they're a child. I've never said that. I don't know. People.
I have definitely treated customers like children. Mm-hmm. I think they needed to be talked to like a 1-year-old, especially when they were throwing
like
a fit.
Teaching.
Yeah,
like a teaching thing. I wouldn't say like a 1-year-old because I think you're always professional, but I think it was more. Well, I mean, correct me, but I think you were like step by step. I'm going to show you how to do this and teach them.
My big thing, and I believe I've said this before on here, is this is how I would think of it when somebody's doing a return.
Yeah.
And you would think anybody knows how to do a return. You bring in the product, you bring the receipt. People are confused about that. And it's like, they don't deal with it every day. I know this whole process because I deal with it every single day. You know, maybe somebody who like just got EBT card or WIC.
Okay.
The women, infant, children, where they could get like formula and stuff.
Yes.
And they would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. definitely them. I would do step by step.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if somebody came up and I could, like, if the cashier came up with a suspended transaction and you could just see it in their face, like, this person is pissed, and it'd be something stupid. Buy two, get one free.
Yep.
Ma'am, let me explain this to you. You only bought two. Well, it's buy two and you get one free. People would say that all the time.
But they wouldn't grab 3?
No.
They would grab 2.
They would say, it's, you buy 2.
You get 1 free.
And you get 1 free.
Oh.
No, you dumb hoe. You got to buy 2 and you get the 3rd free. We always said.
I never had a customer say that.
You would not believe.
Except for the gentleman that I just saw.
And then they would do 10 for 10. Well, I only got 8. Are they going to ring up $1 each? Or do I have to buy 10 of all the same product?
Yes.
There was some.
Even though every tag said mix and match.
I always tried with the employees, because I trained a lot of them. I would be like, there's no dumb questions. Like, you need to know, so ask. But with customers, I was like, these people are so fucking dumb. You know, like. I only had enough patience for the employees. I didn't have enough for the employees and the customers.
Whose day is it?
Who's getting the attention they need today? Shut the fuck up.
All right, number 7, going down. I will tell them. Meaning, like, if something happens and you're referring to the company you work for as they, it's not a great way because shows that you're not part of it.
You know who we would tell is our coworkers and laugh about you afterwards.
We shared that meme before.
Yes. That's who
y'all don't realize it.
By them.
Yeah.
I'm not telling the boss. I don't give a fuck. And even if you do call and complain to corporate, you probably got my name wrong or anybody else's name involved. And we'd be like, we don't even have a Kelly at the store. So joke's on you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And we'd all laugh in the break room. Yeah. And be like, what a dumb hoe.
So I actually had the 800 number to our place, the corporate. Yeah. I had it memorized. And as soon as they were like, well, I'm calling corporate, I would say 1-800.
Here's the number.
Yeah. I would say,
you ready? Write it down. Here you go. Yep. Dial it right now.
Yep.
Do it in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my name.
Yep. I was sassy the last year I worked there. I was done.
Yeah.
I was done with people. So the next one, number 6, says, you shouldn't have done that.
Wait, that's me saying it to them. You shouldn't have done that?
Yeah. The customer is always right. So even though they might not actually be true, I'm glad she said that in here, it is important that the customer feels this way. So we don't want to tell the customer, you shouldn't have done that.
This is why we have these entitled people.
I'm trying to think what conversation there would be for us to tell the customer you shouldn't have done that. Like peeled off a sticker, or what would they have done that we would have said that? I can't think of anything. Oh.
You're getting arrested? Well, you shouldn't have done that.
Did you see that video I posted today? So they are in some of the stores that we work in now, and there's a lot up in Wisconsin.
Where the carts just...
Yep, the wheels stop. So if you do not go through a cash register, if you do not wait for a long enough amount of time where they think a transaction, I don't even know. I meant to look up how many minutes it is. Let's just say it's 5 minutes, 4 minutes to, because maybe you have POP and you scan it real quick and you pay for it, okay? If you start walking out and that cart does not think that you went through the register and you spent enough time at the register, those wheels lock up.
Yes.
And so that video was of, and go on our Facebook page, because I posted it on our Facebook page today. Check it out. It locks. So if they go right to the liquor, right to the POP, right to wherever, and start heading out the exit, those wheels know that they didn't go through the cash register.
So that happened to me not that long ago.
Yeah.
I went inside, did some work, and then had to go out to my car and get a big box. So I just grabbed a cart from right there, turned around and went towards the door, and it starts beeping and it
oh yep
and I was like, oh, what the hell, and I grab another one, and the girl's like, wait, it's just gonna make them all lock.
Stop it, hold on, I got a key for that.
What the hell? I'm like, there's nothing even in it, I'm like, I just gotta go get some shit out of my car. She's like, hold on,
and they do have a key that will it's like a wand,
deactivates it. Yeah.
So they constantly, there's one store that half of the carts no longer work. Like even if you stand at the register, talk to them for a little bit, pay your bill, and start to go outside, they lock. So this one woman is like, I've lost 10 pounds just unlocking these carts, walking back and forth, because they just don't.
It's not like their checkouts are not close to the doors.
No.
The entryways. Like it's close to kind of where the carts are, but the doors are like far on each side.
Yep.
And they got to come all the way around and fucking unlock.
I think our place of work needs that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
The one that we were at.
Right.
So here's a big one. Number 5, calm down. Us telling the customer to. So I actually did that once.
I did it all the time.
And the woman became irate.
Yes.
Irate.
Because we all know how to get a woman to calm down is by telling her to calm down.
It works. Guys, try it.
But I would be like, listen, you need to like calm down a little bit so we can figure this out.
Yeah.
And like, but that's again, talking to them like they're a 2-year-old.
This is true.
You have to have this assertive tone. And like, if you don't calm down right now, I'm going to walk away and you're not going to get shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say shit, but I'd say like anything. I'm not going to work with you.
I don't ever think that you would have done that.
Oh my God, dude.
But you would, huh?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I always just feel like you're so like you have a way with people that no matter how they're freaking out, I feel like you just put that behind you and say, "No, I'm going to help you, no problem." I can't picture you doing that, which is why I'm disagreeing with you. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Like I said, there was days I had patience for these people.
Yeah,
and
true.
That's
true.
That was a day I didn't have patience for that group of people. Because I would get, I would watch a whole transaction happen, try to intervene, try to help.
Yeah.
And these people are, just like I said about that fucking middle-aged man, just entitled and just want to be right. Won't let you get a word in edgewise. I just had Facebook memory the other day. It was like, haha, you stupid bitch. Like, it was like, if you would have waited, I was going to give you like a $5 coupon, but you were being a piece of shit. You called the manager and they said, nope, sorry, not our problem. You didn't read the sign right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, if you weren't such a bitch and wanted to talk to the manager, I was going to take care of you. Yeah. But no, you insisted on talking to a manager so you didn't get shit.
Wow. I think my luck at any time that I've had to call a manager before I was a manager, they would always go with the customer. So then this next I would see them again the following week and they would come to me. Yeah. And then they would want to, like, I could tell that they wanted to be like, oh, I can get some free stuff. Let me just ask her manager. Yeah. But that lasted a very short time because then I became a manager.
Right.
But I just remember thinking, man, this sucks. Like, they're always for the customer.
A lot. But I was so far up. I call them the girls because they were majority girls, but I would get so far up their butts about like, if it's under $10, just fucking take care of them.
Yeah.
But when
keep your line moving. Keep your line moving.
It's your attitude though.
Yeah.
When you come up a raging bitch, nobody wants to do anything for you. If you come up and you're like, I'm so sorry. I think I don't know if I'm mistaken or what, we're like, oh shit, here you go. Don't even worry about it.
No, and I hate to say this, but I am going to say this. I think it's gotten worse. Because we have a lot of keyboard warriors. Yes. People have been sitting at home for 2 years.
Yes.
I truly think it's worse.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it more. I'm hearing it more in stores, whether I'm working, shopping. I'm hearing the more aggressive behaviors. And I just need everyone to like take a deep breath.
I feel like
and stop treating people with this terrible attitude. Like
it
just
all
because
started,
you
had a bad day
yep. or you... I just wonder, I mean, even, so I have a couple cities that I follow because, one, we just love, that we visit all the time. And so I'm on their page on Facebook and someone will post something about maybe they lost something or whatever. And I cannot believe how many comments of, well, why did you take it off your finger? Why did you blah, blah, blah? Why?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I feel like, they do that. Now it used to be keyboard warriors. Now they're out doing it.
So
why?
In my opinion, like it was bad before, but it's worse now. And it started with the mask mandates, right?
Sure.
Because at first it was just a suggestion.
Sure.
Here in Illinois.
Well, let's go back even further and say the election really wrecked a lot of people, a lot of friendships. So the anger came there. But yes, the mask mandate, because you can't tell me what to do.
I have friends that voted for both, and I didn't like either. So I would never be petty enough
Yeah.
Just because I wouldn't be petty enough doesn't mean other people wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But I would never be petty enough to like not like somebody because of who they voted for.
I have friends that lost friends.
That is our American right.
Right.
Is to be able to vote who the fuck we want to, you know?
Yeah.
But like I said, okay, so that was a big thing.
Yep.
But I think even the election before, which was Hillary and Trump, like that was really rough on people too.
Yeah.
And then Trump and Biden, that was really rough on people. I think because so many Trump supporters thought for sure he was going to take it again, and then he didn't, and they were like devastated.
Yeah.
You know, they made fun of all the people crying over Hillary not winning, but then they were fucking bawling their eyes out when Trump didn't win.
My friends were like half and half. I have a lot
of Democrat friends. I have a lot of
We spent that year off of Facebook, which I think saved me from.
Oh my God.
But when I got back on it, I realized that there was a lot of stuff that had happened.
Yes.
Like there's people that were off. There were people that weren't friends anymore. So a lot of stuff happened, but I did not witness it, which
you know
was
what?
good.
I didn't focus on any of that. Like I couldn't tell you if I lost any friends or anything when I was off for a year.
Yeah.
What I focused on was catching up with everybody who had babies.
Yes.
I was like,
who got
oh,
married,
shit.
who's
Everybody
pregnant, who had
babies.
Yeah. That's what y'all were doing, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
But sorry, let's go back to the mask mandate.
But it was a suggestion at first.
Right.
Some people were wearing them, some weren't. And then they would get into arguments, and then they would argue at me because we were required to wear it at work, so we had to have it on. But you know, we were not required to tell people to put one on. That was their choice.
That was Paul from Produce. He had to tell people to wear one.
Well, that was a little late. That was like 2 months down the road, you know, where they mandated it. And people would be like, you're just going to let them in here.
Yeah.
Like so angry about it. And I was just like, I can't fucking handle this anymore.
I know.
I do not get paid enough. I was getting paid pretty well, in my opinion. And it still was not enough to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah. What they were saying, like people were wearing them, weren't wearing them. It didn't matter.
It was the ones wearing them complaining about the people who were not wearing them.
Yes. So you think that stemmed from the anger that we're seeing now?
Yes.
Even though there is no more mandates.
I mean,
it just kind of brought out a little more hatred in people.
Right.
So we have to somehow get back to not being so angry.
So now the mandates have been lifted. Mm-hmm. I walk around with no mask on. If I don't have to wear one, I am not wearing one.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Well, you've also had COVID 3 times. You have the best immune system ever. You're never going to get it again. You're not going to get sick ever again. Nothing's ever going to happen. You're going to live to that guy that they keep showing on TikTok that's 150 years old and they're feeding him a plant.
Please, no.
Eyes are all sunken in.
Please, Lord, let me go before then. I'd be like, before then. But yeah, so now I feel like people who... And I don't judge. If you want to wear a mask, wear a fucking mask.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't care. I can't fucking breathe in them. Like, they make my face break out.
See, and that line
not comfortable.
is exactly what everybody should say. I don't care what you do.
That is
That's why it doesn't bother you, whether you're looking at someone with a mask on or not.
Yeah.
You're still going to do your day.
Don't get me wrong. When I'm driving and the person in front of me is swerving everywhere and going really slow, and I finally get around them, and I see they're in their car by themselves with their mask on and they can barely see over the top of it, I get a little Judge Judy.
Yeah, yeah.
Take off your fucking mask and drive your goddamn car.
Last week, Julia was on her way to work and someone was wearing a helmet with a mask on.
Shut up. I just saw a TikTok the other day, and it's a dude and like his kid on a bike with shorts and flip-flops. And he's like... on motorcycle.
Oh.
And he's like really out here not protecting your feet, not protecting your leg, but you got your fucking masks on.
Oh, God.
Thank God you're wearing those masks.
Oh, the toes.
Dude, that was one thing my mom said. You go for a ride on a bike, you put shoes and pants on.
Yep.
I don't care if you don't wear a helmet.
There is nothing between
oh my
your
God.
Skin and the ground.
Those people need to watch videos of road rash.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, they do, but
it's disgusting.
Okay, so here's the next one. 4. We're almost getting there. You don't want that. You want this.
I don't think I've ever said that to anybody.
Yeah.
But we work in a grocery store. Like, I'm not going to tell you.
This is someone from digital, so maybe on the phone, you know, if a customer was saying something, so that we'll go fast with that one.
Are you calling people about their car warranty?
Maybe. It's like, it reminds me of when you go to get a car, you go online to buy a car and it's a great deal. That's the car you want. You call, they say, yeah, come on in. And you get there and they say, you don't want that. You don't want this. That. Immediately I'm walking out. Yeah. So there's a perfect example. Yeah. How about telling a customer they're wrong? Like, you're wrong. I know it's hard. I don't know
if I would use those words, but I'd be like, no, I think it's this, not that. Which she said, don't say that. So. Losing again.
Yeah. And number 2 says swearing. Don't swear. It's a sinful no-go, it says.
So I'd like to say it was easy for me to turn off my fucks and shits.
Yeah.
When I was working, but there was times where I caught myself like, and then you'd get those customers that were like friends and you'd be like, yeah, and they were such a fucking bitch, you know? And then you turn around and be like, fuck, they're right there.
Yeah. Have you ever like helped a customer, they were not nice? Well, I guess I could say, and they're nice. So either way, and you think that they're walking away, but you didn't realize they turned around to ask you another question. And then you went to turn to someone and you were like, fucking hoe. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, and they're like, oh, I just have one more question. And you know that they heard you say that. Oh.
That's the face I make when I'm busted. Oh, I might be fired today. Do you know how many times I said at our old job, like, I'm fucking getting fired today?
We never did. We had to quit.
Definitely.
We had to leave.
Today's the day I'm getting fucking fired. I can just feel it. And
then the last one says silence. So never be silent.
Silence? Oh, I have perfect, especially since that bitch is on digital, okay? So we're doing these updates on these computers, right? And this one's all fucked up. And I'm like, what the fuck is it doing? I tried turning it off.
Yeah.
I left it. I walked away for an hour, came back, turned it back on. Same screen immediately pops up. I'm like, what the fuck? It should be like restarting, you know? What the fuck? I'm like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
So I call the 1-800 number. I get service representative, you know, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do this update. I'm like, it started updating and then it went to the screen that says this and it's just sitting there. And she's like, oh, okay, you were trying to update it to like 8.44. And I was like, correct. And she's like, okay, silence. So I'm like looking, I'm like, did this bitch hang up on me?
Huh.
And I'm like, okay, you know, maybe she like muted me so she can like
type.
Sure.
She was training or something.
Well, a lot of times it's like you call them and they like type and say, oh, hey, this is what the screen says. What do they do?
Okay.
Just give me that fucking option. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather do that than talk to this.
So did she hang up or was it just quiet or what happened?
So I'm like, well, she's taking forever. I'm like, I'm going to go grab a keyboard because this is a touch screen.
Oh.
Sometimes you plug in a keyboard and hit enter, it'll kick it, you know?
Yep.
So I'm just like, go to the back room, get a keyboard. I'm talking to the store director for like 3 minutes. Hey, I stole your keyboard. I'm going to bring it right back. No problem. I've been trying to order new keyboards. They won't fucking get. And you know, we can't even get toilet paper dispensers, you know? So I go back over there and I'm like, hello? You know, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so she is there, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to plug in the keyboard to see, you know, if maybe that'll kick it in. Okay. And she goes, well, where's it at? Where's it at on the download? I go, ma'am, I told you. It stopped downloading and went to the screen that says this, and now it's just sitting here. Well, did you try rebooting it? I'm fucking reached through that phone.
So she was waiting for you to say more. She was just sitting there listening to your conversation.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
You're not going to question that? So then
that's why it's like, number 1 on this list.
So I'm like, yeah, I plugged in the keyboard. It's not doing anything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm just in my, and she's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. And I'm like, ma'am, are you still there? Nothing. I'm like, I'm still looking at my phone. I'm on the call. The call
and you can see the
ongoing.
time, right. Yeah.
So I held in the power button again and boom, it came back. So I'm like, fucking hung up on her so fast. And I was
Darn it.
I looked at these girls around me in the department I was in and I was like, I fucking hate customer service over the phone.
Gosh.
They're useless.
Tough. Silence. Don't do it.
I'm glad you talked about that. Otherwise, I would have forgotten about that.
That was a great story. And those are, I know what machine you're talking about,
Yes.
and they're very touchy. The system's just not.
Fucking hate them.
There's just some systems that are quick. They have the most updated.
Yes.
I don't even know what you want to call it because I'm not
Version.
version.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a real computer person. I mean, I know
Yeah.
what I work with. That's about it. And then you have other systems that are real fast. You know,
Yeah.
even the handhelds.
Yes.
At a store. You have the ones that are real fast, and you know which handheld isn't really. It's
Yeah.
just, you know,
It's got busted buttons on it and stuff.
Yeah. So it's similar, but
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass today. But
so I'll talk silence real
through
quick.
it.
I cannot stand when I go to ask someone at a store something and they stare at you and don't say anything back.
Wait, so you're like, "Hi, how you doing today?" And they're like, "Good, how are you?" And you're like, "Good. I had a question about this." And they just like
Yeah.
with their mouth open.
Oh gosh.
And you're like, "I'm done asking the question."
Are you thinking, or do you not know?
Are you
or-
downloading the new program? Do I need to hit the reset button?
Are your buttons broken?
Do I need to plug a keyboard in your ass? What are we doing here? Snap to it.
Excellent. So now that we got ourselves all fired up, now we're going to talk about putting your emotions aside and how
Can't do
to
it.
cope with customer
Can't
complaints.
do it. Oh, I get
All right?
so red in the
So
face.
this, again, we're using Shopify. I think we used them last time too. So shopify.co.uk.
Ooh.
I know. This is 12 steps. I don't know if we'll get to all 12. I don't
I
like
bet in
them.
the
We're
UK
not gonna-
you can fucking slap somebody and get away with it.
Once again, this is an older article from 2018, but this is going to be, now that we're all fired up and everybody's angry and they have their own stories and they want to come on the podcast and tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Now this is how to cope with customers. Okay.
Okay, wait. So it's 12 steps. Is it a 12-step program I have to use for one complaint, or
Yes.
is this just 12
No, this is
different?
going to be, well, this is 12, but it could be certain, situations where you
like
you have
step
to use
one.
all of them.
Don't slap them in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Put your hands behind your
first
back.
one, it's normal to feel a little bit defensive. So number one is put your emotions aside.
No.
I have a problem with that because I am human.
Right.
And I'm a person.
Right.
I don't care who you are. Oh, you know what? Perfect example. A person walked up to the service desk and was talking to me. And I can't remember why I had to ask her name. I think it was because it was a return and she had already done a
Okay.
second return.
Okay.
And I said, "Can I please ask your name?" And she said, "Well, first of all, you can say Dr. Liz or whatever it was."
My God.
Like, she needed to let me know that she was a doctor.
Nobody cares.
I just
Unless
needed
you're
to
operating on my heart, nobody cares.
I don't know. I don't even remember if I said, I know for sure I didn't say ma'am, miss, because I don't even do that. Like Steve and I don't even do that. We don't call
Right.
each other honey. It's your
We're
name.
not from the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people do, like babe or whatever. I just don't. So I
do
know
do
I
babe.
didn't.
Yeah.
And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, did I just call her something else? But she's like, yeah, when you put it in the system, put it as doctor. Now that I think about it, though, I think she was kind of playing me a little bit because if we had to put her name in the system, it means she's returned something without a receipt twice or three times.
Yeah.
Was she trying to act like she was
Yeah.
better than me because I was working at
Yes.
the customer service
Yes.
desk and she has a doctorate for
Yes.
something, or she's an MD or whatever? So
She was probably not even like, she was probably like an ear doctor.
yeah. Is that not important?
Well,
Because
but you
I
know
like
what
to
I mean.
hear, and I would absolutely see an ENT for that. Were you just trying to think of someone that was
Yes. Less than a heart surgeon. She's
We just lost all the ear doctors that listen to this. Thanks. Now you got to go back down to Florida, pass out more cards so we can get higher downloads.
Not that your ears aren't important, but you can live without them. You can't live without your heart.
So it's hard to put your emotions aside when people are, trying to show that they may have more education than you or they're higher than you. I hate to even use that because everyone's the same. We just all have different paths.
I am also very dedicated to the company I work for.
Yes.
And I am emotionally attached to it. And if you're
Yes.
trying to fuck us, I'm going to be like, hell no, bitch.
That is. So it's really like our emotion and our protection for what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's our
Right.
money that we're getting paid from this company. We're
Right.
protecting it. So
Even though I would tell people all the time, stop acting like it's your own money coming out of your own pocket.
yeah, I know. And yet it would still bother us, right? They bring back a pair of shoes that they wore for like 2 months and they say it didn't fit.
And they stink.
Yeah.
We know you wore them.
So the next one is research the situation. So I think that's just a natural. Maybe you ask a couple more questions, even if the person's irate.
Did you pay for it?
Maybe,
did you use a credit card?
Yeah.
Do you have our coupon program, our loyalty program?
Right. Always research the situation in a kind way if you can.
Did you steal it?
Yeah. You know how many times I've wanted to ask that? I have to say I did tell one person. I saw him walk in with nothing and walk up with something. And I said, I saw you walk in with nothing. Like I did. I was accusatory.
Yes.
I did not research the situation. I just said, I saw you walk in with nothing.
We just blame.
Yeah, I did. It was bad. It was bad. But he just walked away.
And then he walked away.
Yeah,
because he knew he was
did.
busted.
I never did that. Our secret squirrel, I've never done that since. But I just knew because I walked in with him.
Oh, so
don't challenge their complaint. So I think just in our minds, we're just like, you're a freaking liar and whatever.
It's very hard to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Especially after now, everyone that's listening that has worked cashier, customer service, well, basically any kind of retail, really, because that's just what it is.
You automatically go to, they stole it.
Is it really that bad? Or, how come you don't have more in the back? Or, that you're immediately trying to challenge the complaint because once again, you're protective of the company you work for.
Right.
So I feel like that's everybody.
Yeah.
So I guess for more of our mental health, just, give them the benefit of the doubt, especially if you've never seen them before, right?
And I feel like generally I would.
Yeah. Like I know better. I'm supposed to keep all my receipts or know which card I used, or if it's like the phone number that you would put in for your rewards, loyalty. Yeah. So I know better than that. But there are times where I walked in. As a matter of fact, I went to one place and I was like, I have to return this. It doesn't fit. And they're like, this isn't even from here. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like it happens.
You're like, oh, it's Bath and Body Works, not Bed Bath and Beyond.
So, luckily it was someone that was like, they didn't challenge the complaint or they didn't say anything. They were just like, no, it's not here. They were very kind.
You know what? And they were waiting. They were like, this isn't even from here. And then they're like, fuck, is she going to smack me? Like,
oh yeah. But
people will be like, what do you mean it's not from here? Yeah. I know I bought it from here. Yeah. I just bought it 2 weeks ago. Like, I'm pretty sure I still have it because
I don't know where I got it from. Like, I'm fairly certain I got it from there.
Search for the brand.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain I got it from that, but I tried once and that was it. I'm like, okay, I'll just wear them. They're tight. Give me camel toe. They're up my rear. All right. Whatever. I'll hang dry them.
They said no animals allowed here. You come in with your camel toe. Our secret squirrel sent me that one today.
Oh gosh. So this is kind of the same. It says give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel like we just talked about that. Like if someone comes up, you've never seen them before. I feel like that kind of is the same. So we'll just move on to the next one. Really listen and offer support.
I hate listening.
It's tough.
I only listen to reply. That's
when it comes to that. When it comes to, not as a friend, but I would say sometimes. I am the same as the customer service. Like that part, it's like, I know what the situation is. I saw you walk in with the wrong plastic bag that you shopped at from somewhere else.
When they want to overly explain why they're returning it, like make a really good excuse of, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You have the receipt, you brought the credit card and the canceled check. Just let me return it for you and get the fuck out of my life.
Do you know what I say? Especially if it's camel toe clothes or like shoes or something that just did not work out. I tell them, I have to return this. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that extra line, which it probably still doesn't matter if I ever came up to you.
Yeah, you're like, I have to return this. There's nothing wrong with it. Here's my credit card I used. Other people are like, I really need to return this. I overspent this week on groceries and, I thought I would buy myself a little extra and, the electric bill. I don't give a fuck. Just give me the shit. Let me return it and go pay your electric bill.
My daughter, she's really sick.
And then my dad passed away in February and I just don't know. Okay.
Not this past February, 2 Februaries ago.
I still haven't got caught up on the electric bill from then.
And we couldn't even have a funeral for him because, COVID. We're terrible.
Holy shit, if that isn't the last 2 years. Oh my God.
So the next one, and I skipped a few because I didn't like those two.
Okay.
It said, let them feel as if they've won. I have a hard time with that because I'm competitive.
Yeah.
But I would say 99% of the people that came up to the customer service as cashier at the wherever I worked, bakery, anywhere, I feel like it was like, no problem. Let me see what I can do for you.
Yeah.
And you did your best.
Yeah.
There were people that if they were shitty to me, I would go in the back room and just kind of like go on my phone or say hi to Bestie or, whatever, and then walk back out and say, we don't have it.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, truly. Yeah. Think about it.
I would be like, here, you win. Here's an in-store credit that you're going to spend here anyways.
I can't get cash back. That's how I paid.
Well, sucks to be you.
Yeah. And then the last thing is thank them. Even if you hate them, thank them.
I would always kill them with kindness.
Yep, always.
Have a great day.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It does say apologize too, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't like to apologize for things that aren't our fault.
Right.
But if something, like if a zipper broke or whatever, or just anything, I know we're talking a lot about clothes, but, or, if something was bad.
I can't help you're having a shitty day and you want to be a bitch to everybody. Yeah. I'm not apologizing for that.
Right. That part, yes. Yeah. But of course, if it's something that, you know what I thought of?
What?
I don't know why. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I just thought of a story that I wanted to say. So years ago at where we met, so broth. Comes in the new, style. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? It's like in the box, the rectangle box now. It's not really in cans.
Yes.
And when they switched over, they have a knob that you turn. This is funny that I'm just thinking about this. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So what the companies decided was within that turn, within the top, they were going to put little plastic Sharpies.
Yes.
And it would cut
the foil
on these.
Probably because people complained that you had to pull tab and it would always rip. I would always stab them open.
Yes.
Because the pull tab would always rip off.
Or you would stab them, it would fall in. You know what I mean? Because that happened to me. Oh. Or just trying to, even like when you're opening medicine or like a jar, you're trying to get there. You really don't have nails. It's hard.
So it's foil, but then you lift up the plastic and you're supposed to pull it this way. And even those rip off.
Yeah. See, now in our family, we use the whole thing at one meal.
Oh, yeah.
Where a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people will use half. It depends on how many people are in your family, right? So I get it.
Just like I said, I only know how to make soup 45 gallons at a time.
Right.
So,
that's how we do it too. It's like we bring out the big pot, And so when they first came out, this was when they were first rolling out. I don't really remember the year.
I bet it was I'd say probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
It had to be more than that because it was our favorite store director and I was still there and he sent every call to me because I was the grocery lead. So it was that long ago that they started.
I bought this broth and I opened it and the foil seal was already broken in it.
Yep.
So then what would you say?
I would say if you take a look at the top that you just unscrewed, there's little plastic teeth on there. And it's meant to open the foil. Oh my, so many calls. I don't know why I just thought about that, but I remember that. I would see like the store director number calling. I'm like, oh no, I'm in trouble. And it would be a customer.
Yeah.
And they would say, I have a quick question for you. I know you work in grocery. I just opened up the soup and the foil's broke. It was for weeks.
You know what? And I think because I feel
Does anyone else remember that?
I remember that because I dealt with a lot of people too. I need to return this. It was open when I bought it. And I'd be like, well, actually, you see when you open it, because it like set it on the side of the box.
Yes.
And then eventually they moved it right up to the cap.
It says new. And I think it's still on there to this day.
When you open it, it opens it.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, how do I know that the pieces didn't fall in?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It just
Did
doesn't
you see
fall
them in your fucking soup? Did you eat it? Did you eat it? No? Then it didn't fall in.
And so many people would bring back empty ones. Like I know you just ate soup. And you bring back an empty one.
Well, you know what? I feel like they went to the store twice a month and they said, fuck that. Dumped it out, left it on the counter.
Yeah. That's
what
true.
I would have done.
Like people are, they were very clever, some people, because they wouldn't understand it. They couldn't like wrap their head around it being opened.
Yes.
Someone went through your grocery and opened up all of your soups.
I bought 6 of them and all of them were open.
I opened up all 6 of them and all of them had broken seals.
Imagine
you just opened all 6 of them on your own.
Imagine how many phone calls we got. Imagine how much Swanson or whoever it was got.
Yeah.
They got millions of phone calls.
Right?
Millions.
Oh my gosh.
I went to this fucking grocery store and every single one of them were open. I checked them all. Just in the aisle fucking unscrewing them. Oh, this one's open too.
I mean, what a clever idea.
Oh,
but man,
God.
I can't even imagine. I bet that still happens.
Oh, it's so funny. I forgot about that.
Well, that was fun.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're back.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you had a really good time. You needed it.
I needed
You absolutely needed it. I wish Bestie and I could have joined you. We tried.
was not like.
Yes.
You know.
And that's absolutely, you recognized it and you were like, I'm out. I got to go.
I know. I was laughing because like a lot of people don't even know that I left.
Yeah.
Like I was just answering messages regularly. Although a couple of people like tried to call me from work and stuff. Sorry, Drew. I just didn't answer. Sorry, Drew. But I saw he texted and like he needed something and he texted
didn't realize
in the
you were
group
gone.
message. So yeah. So and like I didn't tell a lot of people.
Sometimes those
that I
are
was
the
leaving.
best. You know, I've learned too not to post anything on Facebook.
Well,
Like some people
sometimes-
do the countdowns and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't let people know you're going to be gone. I just feel like mentally,
Which I,
you can
you know,
go.
that doesn't bother. Like I don't think anybody's gonna rob my house or anything. Better not. But like some people make you feel guilty about it. Like I would never make somebody feel guilty for having the time of their life.
With the way things are,
Yeah.
and obviously look at how fired up we got just talking about
Yeah.
customer experiences. Everyone needs a
Right,
break.
right.
You are allowed.
Right.
So if you haven't taken a break, as a matter of fact, there was someone at my work, we just had a conversation, and he mentioned that he missed out on some days last year. I said, why?
Right.
Take the days
Take the
off.
days.
Take your days. Don't save them. I know. I'm one of them. I haven't taken a day
Yeah.
off this year.
Yeah.
I am definitely one of them. I have
Yeah.
many, many weeks, but we're
Yeah.
going to plan something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but truly, truly take that day. You deserve it. Don't feel
Sometimes-
guilty.
and
Shut
then-
your
yeah.
phone off.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yes. Do you know that like when I go down there, I was telling Sam, like I love it. Like I forget my phone at the house.
Yes.
Like
I'm getting better
I
at
don't
that.
care about my phone when
Yeah.
I'm down there. Like I talk to Johnny once a day.
Yep.
I text my mom good morning every day. You guys, we usually all text
Yep.
and hey, have a good day, whatever. Everybody knows I'm alive for the day.
Yep.
They'll know I'm alive again tomorrow for the day.
Right, right.
You know, like I don't.
Well, and for us, like we want to make sure you're spending time with them who you don't
Yeah.
get to see very often.
Yeah.
We're not going to be sending a whole bunch of
Yeah.
different stuff. Every once in a while we have a meme if it's really
Yeah.
funny but like we didn't even send TikToks.
Yeah.
We didn't send anything.
I just made sure I sent you lots of snaps.
Let me talk
so.
about my newest
Uh-oh.
TikTok.
Oh, no.
That is on my For You page now.
TikTok addict over here.
Bomb
I created
parties.
a monster. Stop it.
Bomb parties are all over my TikTok page. Well, we have two,
just
but
saw a guy making fun of that, and he's like, "Oh my god, look at what you got!
oh my
It's worth $45,000 retail."
It's not.
I can't believe it. Can
All
you
right.
believe it?
I'm going to explain this real quick for those that have not seen them. There is actually a company called bombparty.com.
Yeah.
And it's MLM, rather.
MLM, yeah.
MLM, I can't say that.
Multi-level marketing.
Yeah, it is. But there's no one underneath them, I don't think. But they do help each other, blah, blah, blah. That's
Yeah,
what
they watch each other's videos.
Yeah, they do, and they comment and they monitor.
And they buy each other's
and,
shit.
And they're moderators and all that kind of stuff. So here's what happens if you've never seen this before. In these, what I would call bath bombs, but they're square, you pay $39 or you pay-
$39?
for the OG. It's $59 or a little bit more if you want sterling silver.
Get the fudge out.
Rings, earrings. I did see someone with necklaces. But mostly they're rings. Mostly people do these for rings. Now, I am guilty of this because what did I buy you and Bestie one time that I thought was very cool?
Hey, I still thought it was pretty cool.
I
We
bought
got
them
the candle,
candles
and it
that
had the
had
ring in it.
yes. And most of us we were like $40,
Yeah,
$60, and I spent $25 on the candle.
Yeah,
the
so
candle
that's not
smelled
bad.
good,
Yeah.
and we just let them
Yes.
burn all day long.
Yes.
So okay,
Till
so
I
I'm
could
guilty.
dig it out.
I'm
I
guilty
dug
of
it
this,
out.
and we might do this. I don't know what we're gonna do here.
No, we are not
Not
gonna
on this,
do
but maybe
it.
we might. I'm so excited about this. So
Oh my god.
I was told when I was watching that every month this year, this one woman that was doing it, someone got a diamond. So you can get up to,
out.
$5,000 is the max. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like those candles
It's
because
like
there could be
retail.
retail $5,000. So you're paying only $39 or $59 if you want sterling.
And then you take it to the jeweler and they're like, this is a cubic zirconia that's worth $40.
Maybe. Supposedly every month someone had gotten a diamond. So I was like, I'm going to watch her. And she had this very sweet Southern accent. And I feel like she was like maybe in between our ages. She was super fun, really cute, lived in Orlando. So I was just like, I'm going to watch her. How long did you
watch it?
3 hours.
Meredith.
I'm exhausted today. So, anyways, here's what they do.
3 hours.
People go online. There must be a website. They buy their size, 8, 9, 7, whatever you want for your ring. And then they have a board. And they open up their pack, and a lot of times they have like giveaways if you get a little sticker or something. So there's what they look like bath bombs. You cannot see the ring. So they put like 5 out, and they say, once again, this is for
5? 1, 2, 3,
Francis,
4, or 5.
Francis, are you there? Francis, is Francis online?
No one else. The other one you were doing?
When they were doing the cups. Francis, all right, I'm just going to see if there's any other orders while we're waiting for Francis. And then the second that she turns away, Francis answers that she wants number 2. So she misses it. So everyone else is saying Francis said 2. And she goes, I have to see Francis's response.
God.
And then she turns around again to look at her computer to see if there's any more hours. And Francis goes, no, I'm here. I'm just like, this is maddening to me. So
that
Francis picked number 2. And so then they pull the board away. They put the other ones away. And they drop it into hot water. And it's like a bath bomb. Yeah, fizzy. And so every time, doesn't matter if it's Francis, Joy, anybody that picks it, she uses a spoon and she lifts up. It's covered in foil. And she says, here's your size 7 sterling 7.
Oh my
sterling
God.
7. And she takes the wrap off, and then she's already looking at it. So it's in the plastic, and I'm watching her face because you could tell there were some she liked and some she didn't. But she would have to say, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, Francis, you're going to be so happy about.
Oh, my God. And Francis is going, oh, my God, what is it?
I know.
What is it? Show it to me. What is it? Is that the diamond?
And then.
Did I get the diamond?
She would put it down and tell a fucking story.
Oh,
while Francis was sitting there waiting. It's like 10:30 at night. I'm like, bitch, I got to get up and work and record the podcast. Just show her what ring she got.
Did you look in the corner, like how many people were in the room?
Yes.
Was there a lot?
Yes. A lot. 2,000. Okay, so it started.
My mind.
Okay, I'll tell you. This is how long I've watched it. It started at 2,000. By the time I was done watching, it was down to 121 people.
Yeah, because people are like, fuck you, Francis.
I'm going to bed.
I don't even care what ring you got. It's probably ugly and worthless.
So she would tell a story about her vacation. And then she would take it out of the plastic bag. I don't know what bothered me more. I was getting anxiety. Listening to the woman's fake fingers in the plastic bag. Taking the ring out of the plastic bag. Drying it off. Now, let me tell you, there was like 40 orders last night. This is just one Francis.
God.
Oh my God, Francis. Okay, now. And then they have to put on like the clear thing on the camera so that you could do the close up and see it. Francis, you got the
I always laugh
quadrumetal watermelon color, blah, blah, blah.
See that sparkle?
And they put it on the finger holder, like the little pyramid, whatever ring holder. And they put the little thing, the cover on and then they hold it up. This is just gorgeous. And I'm like, I would never wear that. And everyone, like, now that we're down to 121 people, oh my God, beautiful, just ordered, blah,
okay,
blah.
That's all the people that do those.
Yeah, exactly. And Francis is the sucker. There was one that I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. Like, it was like a double, and, it was, but Francis is unfortunately.
No. Get out of here, Francis. Take your fake ass
And then you know
shit.
what else I noticed? These women are tough. Like, if you signed up for like a size 7 or like bought a size 7 and you accidentally went online and you were like, I actually need an 8, and she already dropped that bomb. Oh, you're getting a 7.
No.
And it didn't even like, and so I was thinking,
put it on your pinky.
This is just like retail, really. Like, I can't even, it is retail, right? Yeah, because it's retail sales, and you're going to have a lot of complaints, and a lot of people are asking if they turn green, and is the sterling really sterling, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I was learning, I did it for research. But plated. I was like, but wow. Well, there's like rhododendron something plated.
Rhododendron is a
plant. It was a plant. But they kept saying that. And I'm like, okay, I have to remember that word. I don't know. I don't have fake jewelry except for the one from the candle. But
You're like, you got to paint it with clear nail polish before you wear it so it doesn't wash off and turn your finger green.
And it's funny that you say that it was like all the people from the group, because they were like, oh, you could just buy one of those little plastic things.
Yeah.
It'll fit. Because she needed a 7 instead of an 8 or something. Yeah, it was going to be too big. So people were like, nah, you can just wrap it. She goes, and one woman's like, go old school like we used to wear our boyfriend's class rings. You would just wrap it with string.
This is very true. Do you remember what was the one jewelry? It was like $5 jewelry. Started with a P. What the hell? Paparazzi.
Oh, I've never even heard of that.
Paparazzi jewelry. And I would see those parties. And that's like I said to you, they'd be holding it like, oh my God, this is so great. If you want to claim this now, type yes 25. Yes 25. Look at how beautiful this is. They were $5.
Oh my gosh.
Necklaces, rings, earrings. I was like,
all fake. All turn your finger green. Okay.
And there was a girl in our group that was selling it, and she used to give me so much shit for not buying. Do you see jewelry on me?
Yeah.
I wear my wedding ring. This isn't even my wedding ring. This is just a ring that Johnny gave me.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I wear. So men, stay away. I know I'm taken.
All right, so tag us in all the bomb party. No, I'm just kidding. Please do not do that.
F out of here.
And now that I watched that, I logged on this morning just for a couple minutes over coffee. That's all they were. I'm like, oh no, I have to look up something else.
I'm going to have to look up, try to find the guy who was making fun of him and send it to you because it was hilarious. Because it reminded me of the other one that you were telling us.
Yes. That one woman, she was great, but it's the same. Oh my gosh, it's the same.
He was scooping it out with.
I mean, some of them were over $200, and she was like, "You got 3 digits, girl. You got 3 digits."
Oh God,
like, what the hell? I love it. Entertainment.
That's funny.
All right, everybody. Well, have a good Friday. Thanks for listening.
Happy Friday.
Take care. We'll talk to you
Welcome
next
to all
week.
the new listeners, hopefully.
Oh my gosh, we have so many. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked this episode. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by NameTag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Drums, written and performed by my son, Steven. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.